BlockAid is a game that's been out for many years, but I still come back to it time and time again for a short, sharp, but engaging, relaxed puzzle fix. The game's got a really simple premise. You have these different characters that are wearing scarves that are going to walk across this plane of blocks. The idea is that you need to clear the path ahead of them so that they can then reach the exit. And in doing so, they give you stars depending on how complex their journey was, and stars equals points for you. The problem is that the way that they're trying to get across the plane are completely fill up with these grey blocks, and you need to press them down. They move every time you put down some blocks. And so you'll have these Tetris blocks in the bottom left-hand side of the screen, and you'll need to kind of work out how's the best way to clear the path ahead of them so that they keep going. That starts off really simple at the beginning because you're just thinking, oh, I've got 2 or 3 characters moving around and I'm just clearing the blocks to make sure that they don't headbutt into a grey block, because doing so means that they lose some HP. When a character loses all their HP, it's game over for you. The trick comes when they all start to intercollect and they start crossing over each other, and all of the different paths and trajectories become like a spaghetti junction. And this is because every time a character moves off a space, the grey block rises back up again. Think of these almost like on-off pressure pads in a way, because as they move forward, they reset and the path becomes blocked behind them. And if you've got characters intersecting, quite often one will move out of the way, the grey block will raise, and that will then block the next person coming through. So you've got to think about how do you strategically use your blocks to make sure that you get the best bang for your buck, but also where are all the different characters going to be in a way that means that you aren't going to kind of trap yourself somewhere along the line as you go. This is very, very tricky because very quickly you'll find that there's 4 or 5 characters on screen and they all start meeting in the middle and resetting things and causing problems. And so sometimes you need to start prioritising, actually, that character's got 6 HP, so I can let them smack into a wall a few times, whereas that one's only got 1 or 2 HP, so they need to be prioritised. There's also the trick of being able to hold back characters that have high HP, because sometimes you might be benefited by keeping them back on purpose to let some other characters through. And all of these are little tiny strategic nuances that play out in a game of BlockAid. Now, the game originally launched, I believe, with online leaderboards, and I don't think they work anymore. So it's all about that local leaderboard for you. My only miffed thing about this game is that I find that whenever I exit it on Windows 10, the game crashes. It didn't used to happen beforehand, it does now, and I think because the game is quite old and doesn't really receive support, it's not going to be updated anytime soon. But if you spot this game on a sale, it was part of a charity package beforehand, but I believe you can buy it individually. This game is such a cool, chill vibe that I really, really enjoy, and I think gamers who enjoy the Mini Metro and the Mini Motorway series specifically will love this kind of thing, because it's just 10 minutes of pure chillness, and you know you're going to die at the end and run out of lives because it just becomes so overwhelming that at some point one of your characters gets stuck and that's the end of the game. But you'll super enjoy yourself up to that point, and you aren't time pressured because none of your moves are time bound. BlockAid was released as part of a charity initiative called Help the Game, which was a collection of, I think, 8 to 10-ish games altogether as a bundle. You can't buy this game, I don't think, on its own. So support the charity. There's plenty of other great games in there too. And you'll get this one as a little bonus extra, which well deserves its own separate release, in my personal opinion. Written review will be over on highplanegames.com. Any comments or questions, leave them down below. Cheers! Higher Plane Games is part of the Higher Plane Network, a completely independent media outlet supported by people like you. The goal is to create the best possible content that cultivates a richer indie scene for games as well as music and entertainment. To find out more and to get involved, visit patreon.com/Higher Plane Network. Your support makes all the difference, and in return you'll gain access to bonus content and downloads. Thank you for watching.